perspectives. So, you say you want to learn Torah. Say, Emor. That's the Hebrew word for say. And that's our Torah portion this week. But just for those of you that are new, let's start with this again. We like to go over this every time so that people can understand. So how you study the weekly Torah portion. When you begin studying the weekly Torah portion, don't try to understand everything at once, okay? So the goal isn't perfection, it's connection. You want to try and continue to do this. So you start with the big picture. Each week's parasha, that is a portion or a section of the Torah, is read by Jewish communities all around the world. So just begin with a short summary so you understand the overall story. And that's what I'll bring to you after we go over this. Then read a small section of the text itself, even just a few verses. You don't have to know Hebrew. It's good to learn it, but use a clear English translation. Use a Chumash. You can get it through Art Scroll. It's the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, right? Take your time and ask simple questions. What's happening? Who's speaking? Why does this matter? These are good things to ask. Next, take one idea away with you, just one. Don't take a lot, take just one. It might be a lesson about God, it might be a lesson about people, it might be a lesson about how to live, which was this week's Torah portion talks about. Torah is meant to shape life, not just to fill the mind, all right? So if possible, add one additional commentary. A lot of people like to use Rashi, it's very common. That's within your Chumash as well, and then also in your Chumash has the commentary on the bottom, several different places. So you use this to deepen your understanding, again, focusing in on certain parts. But keep it simple, keep it focused. Finally, bring it into your life. Start asking yourself, what is the one thing that I can do differently today because of what I've learned? Torah study becomes complete when it leads to action, even in a small way. Now, let's look at parasha Emor, say. This basically focuses on what it means to live life, and that a life that treats holiness seriously, not just in big moments, but in everyday choices. Now, it begins with the Kohanim, the priests, who had unique responsibilities in the Mishkan. Mishkan is the Hebrew word for tabernacle, and later on in the Beit HaMikdash, or the temple. Because of their role, they were held to a higher standard. This isn't just about them, it introduces a bigger idea. Different people can have different roles, but everyone is responsible for honoring holiness in their own way. Now, the parasha then discusses offerings. The key message is about the sacrifice, is not just about the sacrifice, it's about the mindset, all right? What you bring forward, whether it's time, effort, or commitment, should be whole and intentional with kavanah. Giving your best reflects how much you value what you're a part of. Now, next comes the very central section of the Jewish calendar. That is, we are introduced to Shabbat, and all of the major holidays. That is Pesach, Shavuot, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot. These aren't just rituals. They're built-in moments to pause, to reset, to reconnect with community, with identity, and with purpose. For someone who is new to Judaism, this cycle can feel like a rhythm that helps structure meaning throughout the year. You know, at this time we do this, at this time we do that. We need structure in our lives. At the end, there's a story about someone who speaks disrespectfully about God, and we'll get into that when we talk later into our Torah portions. It's a strong reminder of the power of speech. Words can build connection, or they can damage it. You can see how we've been having this progression. Judaism places real weight on how we speak, especially about others and about what we hold sacred. Now, the core message of Emor, say, is that holiness isn't abstract. It shows up in standards, in time, and in speech. Whether someone is born into the tradition or choosing to join it, this parasha emphasizes that living with intention, respect, and awareness is what makes everyday life meaningful. Stay with us. We're going to keep coming at you. Thank you for watching Hebrew Perspectives. Shalom.